you should be spending phone.
We live in a society where the societal construct of an image is excessively important for us, even if it costs us risking our lives. With smartphones having entered most households, the accessibility to kids has also increased largely. Most people crave for their eyesight. Some, particularly kids, make it vulnerable by excessive use of these gadgets. Most parents are seen feeding their kids with food, while simultaneously feeding them content from these smartphones, keeping them absorbed in that world. Undoubtedly, smartphones are an entertaining tool for kids, but they also have a considerable impact on their eyesight and mind. Needless to say, this impact is adverse. Abdullah, a 5-year-old, owns a smartphone. He spends 5 hours daily on his smartphone, watching videos and playing games. Interestingly, this 5-year-old had a Facebook account, which now stands deactivated. His father showed some concern.
You should pass over when Kasnay. Mother Winchemis, pass Sheriff has an yes, Winches, you pass with. Acha. Art Baragas did to another, phone of Kota Chaskucho. I shall back the Bayana, you get it. Mother, your time name अगर अमिस दबो सिखसा ठूल सिखसा सिचसा चाय गोड़ गिचवी दिमाग फोन अस था गोड़ गस मिस फोन अस ना अस पे आधे क्या से खेगी किया.
From the eyes of adults, the children's eye, definitely pediatric age, the eyes in this group is really, they are tender age, they have tender eyes, developing eyes. So in these cases, usually the smartphone does affect a lot. And particularly I will say the first 2 years of life when their eyes are really growing. So what particular effect, there are a lot of things which has been mentioned in literature, particular which I see in my clinic is most of them start having pseudomyopias. Children have an eye which is in a developing phase and a smaller than adult eye. So what usually happens, children in the early age are hyperopes, which is usually known as hypermetropics. And it should not lead to something which has not been seen till now, which has not been diagnosed till now, because it is recent in this era. So we even don't know what else it can lead to. Maybe it can lead to some serious problems, some serious tumors. So which is under study.
There are a lot of psychological and psychiatric problems which are reported in very young children, means from the age of 2 years. 3 years. Now a recent trend has come up of using smartphones. As parents, sometimes parents feel it very good to give a smartphone to a kid to keep him busy. They start developing insomnia because they get used to these phones, which is a psychological issue. And then their behavior change, they try to remain aloof, they prefer to be aloof. So obviously their social interaction starts decreasing. And once these children grow up, they land up with psychiatric problems.
Collectivism to individualism. What I am worried about the next generation is that reading habits. Reading habits are definitely declining because of the excessive use of this smartphone or whatever you call it, this mobile phone.
Famous psychologist Albert Bandura gave a theory called social learning theory. One of the postulates of this theory is children look up to their parents and therefore adopt behavior after observation. Keeping this view in mind, this documentary requests parents not to use their smartphones in presence of their children, so that we are able to secure our children's future by protecting their eyesight and creative potential. Family is the primary agent of socialization. Children learn language, pick up certain habits, drape themselves in a specific set of morals, and all of this starts in a family. We're inheriting smartphones to our children for sure. The phones may get smarter over time, but let them not consume our smartness. Give your children a smart future before you give them a smartphone.